Well, you guys mentioned the wins, and you mentioned that was a common theme at Media Day. From Pop on down, the guys are talking about how they want to win more games. Let's take a look.
Let's just go play our ass off. Let's compete, obey the basketball gods, respect and love each other, and we'll see where we go. But this might be an answer you like better. Development is great, and all those guys needed it, and they've made some big jumps. Even though there weren't a ton of wins, even in the losses, there were some great moments and some real competitiveness on the part of a lot of those guys. And of course, when you add a player with Victor's abilities, your prospects look better. But this year, with development, I think one of the important factors to enhance that development is winning. So winning is as important this year as learning was in the past. So they got to continue to learn, but adding more wins, I think, is appropriate, mandatory, helpful.
Yeah, I think we could be really good. Again, we've been practicing so hard the whole summer, so I think we're ready. We're excited for the season. Like you said, hopefully we're all injury free, healthy every game, and I feel like we'll see what happens. But I think we're going into the season with a mentality to win and do our best.
I mean, we fight. We got that grit. We hungry. And realistically, like we know we're expected to win this year. Like we want to win. It's not. We don't want to hear we're growing.
So they're sick of losing, guys. They're ready to win. And as nice as it is to hear all of that, it's something we hear every media day. Last year was a little bit different from Pop. Mm-hmm. He set pretty realistic expectations, but every player in that locker room wanted to win. So it's not surprising to see these guys talking about we want to win more games. They only won 22 last year. Jeff, you told us 29.5 is the over-under.
Yes.
Where do you think they're going to wind up?
I left Media Day confident, just feeling that energy, feeling the fact that this team is sick and tired of last season. They want to get that taste out of their mouth and get some W's. So I'm going to go with 38.5.
All right. Nate? What do you think?
I said 33 was my number, which probably feels a little low for the guys sitting at this desk. But the West, I really only see the Blazers as a team that got worse in the offseason by getting rid of Damian Lillard. But the Spurs are going to get themselves up. And the load management factor with Victor Wembanyama, does he play on back-to-back nights earlier on in the season? I don't think he might, just for health reasons. But as that season gets along and a playoff spot is in the sights of the team, don't tell me you can't sit Victor Wembanyama in a critical game when you're fighting to stay in the play-in tournament and inject that life into the fan base.
I think the parity is a good point.
Yeah, you mentioned the Blazers. I would throw in also the Grizzlies as well with the John Moran situation.
Oh, but I still think
happen,
that they would be. The Grizzlies are still, even without for a period of time, they might still be better.
I was thinking about it this morning, guys, and I don't think there's a single team in the league where I look at them and I'm like, wow, that's just a really bad situation. Except like even with all the stuff that's going on in Charlotte, they've got an exciting group of young players.
Even in Philly with James Harden. Yeah.
Right. Even with that mess, those fans still have hope. We're seeing super teams obviously still, but we're also seeing, I think, an NBA landscape where it's sort of wide open in terms of who's going to be fighting for just being a competitive team. Vinny, where do you think they land win total-wise?
Well, I woke up today feeling Spurs dangerous, and I think part of that is because of the energy we felt at Media Day, but I'll amend that a little bit, and I'll say 37 regular season wins. We're here. Take that, Vegas, baby. 37. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I think all of us here hammering the over. Again, if you're going to gamble responsibly. But I think that with you're not just adding Wemby, right? You're banking on internal development individually from all of these talented young players who have so much potential, and collectively as a group that is hopefully going to play team defense, hopefully going to mesh really well on the offensive end. So yeah, I think, you know what? I'm feeling spicy.
Here we
Let's say
Here we go.
4-0, 40 wins.
Even 40.
Not quite 500. Not quite 500 yet. But I think that they're going to be winning a lot more basketball games. And I think they're going to be a tough matchup.
Oh,
for
I think
people.
they are, yeah.
You know, because
absolutely.
there's no team in the league where you have to scheme as much specific stuff in terms of, okay, how are we going to tackle this 7'4" problem on both ends of the floor? So I think that's going to be. It's not really a secret weapon if everybody's been talking about it for 5 months, but a very serious weapon for the Spurs. So yeah, I'm going to say 40 wins. Playoffs, guys. Let's start with you, Vindog. Playoffs? Question mark.
Jim Mora, the legendary Jim Mora. Let's go. Let's go. They make the play-in.
Okay.
And move on to that summer of money and get ready to really get after it the following season.
Okay, so no playoff series, just the play-in. Losing the play-in.
I'll stay there. Yep.
Okay. Nate.
I'm going the play-in, and I think they win one of the play-in. I think it gives them the 8th seed, and they bow out in the first round of the Suns.
All right.
Going with Nate, yeah. I think,
How many wins in the playoff series?
like, what do you mean? Oh, I think they advance. Like, I think they get that low seed when they have to go to the
They-
next round.
I think
They get
they can steal
they
one
get
at
to a
home.
full.
Right.
I think they can steal one at home.
Yeah.
but
All right.
that's
So
about
gentlemen's
it.
sweep. Okay. Yeah. I think that's about the ceiling for this team, and I think that it's where they're going to get to. I don't expect them to win a full 7-game series, but I do expect that all of the experience that these guys have had over the years together is going to result in, just more composure. Last year we saw a really young team that was figuring stuff out and, just figuring out how they need to try to win games. And they didn't really have a good handle on that. They'd play really well for 40 minutes and then just fall apart at the end. Left a lot of meat on the bone. So I think that this year, even if they hadn't gotten Wembanyama, I think they were due for a leap collectively. And adding a player of his caliber, I think they play in a playoff series this year. I think the drought ends. And the Spurs have not played in a playoff series since Kawhi Leonard got injured against the Warriors.
Was that the Derek White dunk in Denver? I think that was.
It was the
that
year
one.
after
that,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
been a while.
They haven't won a playoff
been a while,
series
yeah.
It's been a while.
since 17. But the 7 games in
Yep.
Denver, that crazy ending in
That was
Game
crazy.
7. Yeah, it's been a while. My brain's a little fried personally.
And what I liked
but-
about last year's group was that they were pretty much competitive for the most part. They fell on
Right.
wheels. But you inject now a Wemby and that experience and the pop factor, he's back. That cloud is over there, there's swept away. So, yeah, I think
And
this team's gonna
Devin's
be-
fully
Devin's
healthy,
fully healthy, yeah.
so that's a big one,
So, yeah,
too.
I think they'll be all right.
Yeah, no, it's whatever happens, we know it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, there's not a single game on this schedule that I'm looking at, I'm like, I don't really want to watch that. Up and down the league, whether it's the best players or the developing young teams, I can't wait to see what this guy does. And we're going to have you covered, this full team, our guy Casey Vieira, online, kens5.com/Spurs. I'm on Twitter at RealTomPetrini. Vinny, where can
At
people find you?
Vinzetta.
Nate?
Hey, Ryan Sports.
Jeff?
Jeff G, Ken's 5.
Stay
And
with
we're
us.
on Twitter at Kens5. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, go Spurs, go.